15 up, 15 down for Sam Landry. Oklahoma wins another. Oklahoma run rules another 4-0 in the Getterman Classic this weekend in Waco, and all four end up in 5-inning run rules. Wow, what a weekend. We'll recap all the action from Sunday because, again, there's a lot of good to talk about, and woo boy, just like on Saturday, we saw a very, very good version of Oklahoma softball. But before we dive into how awesome Sam Landry was and Audrey Lowry and how good that Ella Parker still is and Sid Barker and everything else, just kind of a big main takeaway. As good as this weekend was, and this weekend was very good, it was progress, it was a step in the right direction from this team compared to week one. There was growth. But as good as that was this weekend and as good as that was on Sunday, here's the scary thing for everyone else in college softball. That was good. That's not Oklahoma's best. That's not OU's best, far from it. You know, as good as the pitching staff has been, as good as Ella Parker was, as good as and fun of a surprise as Sid Barker is, you're still having some hitters in this order that are playing well, hitting well, but not performing at their best. That is good. Today was good, a step in the right direction for sure. They're 10-0. That's still not the best version of Oklahoma softball. And as I sit here on a Sunday night, I'm getting really, really excited thinking about what the true potential of this OU softball team is. That's a lot of fun to think about. But let's start with the perfect game by Sam Landry. Again, 15 up, 15 down. Just sensational. And she's gotten better each start as it's progressed throughout the year. You know, maybe not her sharpest performance in the first day of the season, but she's gotten better and better, and she was just in command. All day today, she was in command, again, against a very good Baylor order who had an unanimous All-American last year, who has some really good hitters throughout that order, and they didn't have a chance today against Sam Landry. I believe she had 8 strikeouts today. I mean, you can count on a lot of things with Sam Landry. You can count on a lot of strikeouts, and you can count on her to just attack the zone. I just continue to be more and more impressed with her every single time I see her start. And she was my favorite to be the ace of this staff going into the year. And, I mean, it's her and Bella Smith right now. Don't forget about Kirsten Deal. Audrey Lowry looked great today. I mean, there's so many takeaways, I think, from this weekend. And so many, just good things to look at. And, going into the year, and I heard from you guys, and I had my own, predictions or thoughts as well, but the pitching staff, I think by most, was considered the biggest question mark going into the season. And we are only 10 games in. We've got a long way to go. We've got better opponents to see. But 10 games is a decent sample size, and we've seen every pitcher on the roster outside of Sophia Bordy for several innings. That doesn't look like a question mark to me. That pitching staff that I've seen that have several good arms that can really contribute, that doesn't look like a question mark to me. That looks more like a strength. And that's where I'm at after 10 games. After seeing this team and a decent little sample size, that's a pitching staff to me that is very good. Bella Smith has been awesome. Sam Landry has been awesome. OU's pitching staff has thrown 2 perfect games in the first 10 games of the season. 2 5-inning perfect games. That's an amazing start. And this weekend to me, offensively, defensively, just overall, it felt like a flex, man. It really did. And if you saw the reaction from yesterday, I talked about the growth that it felt like this team showed from Saturday all the way back to Sunday against Long Beach State. It felt like more growth today. And Saturday was a good day, but I wanted to see this team just continue it, okay? Great day on Saturday, but you got an early start time against Hofstra, second time around against Baylor. They don't want to get run rolled in 5 innings again today. Look as good as you did on Saturday. And I thought that they even looked better. So, man, I know I say this a lot, but I cannot stress it enough because I think that it's a big-time goal for this team at this point in the season to just improve. Day after day, game after game, just improve. And by the end of the year, with as much talent as on the roster, we may very well look up at the end of the year and say, well, it didn't look like it back in February, but this is a team that can win a national championship. And they just keep getting better. And I'm very proud of this team for doing that, very happy with the progress that we've seen. And I do think that this team is capable of a lot of things. Again, bigger tests are down the road, certainly in SEC play. Baylor, I think, is a nice team with a good offense. You're going to see better opponents moving forward. But if this is the growth that we're going to continue to see with this team, I'll continue to put them up against everyone else in college softball. Nice start offensively in both games. 3 runs in the first inning against Baylor. I wanted to see fewer runners left on base this weekend. They did that. They accomplished that. That was the number one thing that I wanted to see is you got runners in scoring position, get them in this time. Whether it's a routine fly ball to right field, a 2-out hit, they really did that, I think, pretty consistently throughout the weekend. 3 runs in the first inning, had the out at home plate, but Sid Barker delivers the 2 RBI double with 2 outs to really just kind of open things up in the second game against Baylor. Agbayani hit a home run, which is very nice to see. Cassidy Pickering's hitting the ball well. Nice to see her, get going again. And then what do you say about Ella Parker? She's just incredible. I don't know any other way to say it. She's the best hitter in this lineup. She's the best hitter in the sport right now. But here's what's fun to look at. And this is fun to look at with me thinking that Agbayani's only going to do more from here on out. That Cassidy Pickering is only going to get better. That Isabella Emmerling's going to start hitting. Like Ella Parker is, in my opinion, the best hitter in the sport, but the best hitter in this lineup right now. Here's something fun to think about. Who's the second best hitter in this order right now? Sid Barker? Like, you guys, I can almost hear you saying Sid Barker is the second best hitter in this order right now. I don't know if that'll be true in a week's time. I don't know if that'll be true in a month's time or at the end of the year. But she's playing at a level right now, especially the way that she's hitting. You have to have her in the lineup. And that's what you were looking for all along at this early part of the season, is to see some of these players who are in a position battle and not leave it up to Patty Gasso. Sydney Barker is not leaving it up to Patty Gasso. She's demanding. She's put herself in a spot where you have no other choice but to put her in the lineup. She's been that good. Just incredibly impressed with her. Again, the 2 RBI double that she had. The first game today, she had a triple. Heck, some of you guys will even remember, I think it was in the first inning of the game against Hofstra. Runner at third, less than 2 outs, and she just hits a routine fly ball to right field. It wasn't a base hit. It wasn't a home run. It wasn't a ball off the wall like she hit in the first inning against Baylor. But it was what you were missing last week in that game against Long Beach State. It was a fly ball that was deep enough to score a run, and that's what you're looking for with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. But, hey, offense responded in a big way on a very cold day today. Bragged about Sam Landry. Got to give it up to Audrey Lowry as well. She was great. Maybe her best outing of the entire year. And I think that you can make a strong case today that you had 2 pitchers for OU today have their best outing of the entire season. With Sam Landry, with Audrey Lowry. Lowry was 3 2/3, 0 hits, 0 walks, 8 strikeouts. 2 pitchers today had their best outing in an OU uniform. And we're only through 10 games, but I don't think that that's the last time that we're going to be saying that today. Not Peyton Monticelli's best start today against Hofstra, an inning and a third before she got chased. I like that she got an opportunity to start in that first game, but I still think here moving forward that she's going to be used primarily in a relief role this year. I think that's what's going to happen there. But man, I'm sitting here on a Sunday just kind of like got a lot of excitement here because that team gets me excited, man. They're 10-0 on the season. I think that you got to be very happy just overall what we've seen so far. If you even want to put an initial grade on it, I think it's been an A. I mean, the fact that they faced adversity and maybe they've even struggled at times, but they've always overcome adversity and they've always gotten better in areas where they need to get better. I mean, this team is just showing signs that it's a very good softball team. And again, that's not the best version of OU. I think the best version of OU is still out there, and that's the chase, is to find the best version, to see the best version of this team. And I think the best version of this team will be good enough again to win a national championship. But that was the biggest test for OU pitching, and it was fantastic once again. Fantastic once again. And I just think that they're going to be better and better as the year goes on. And if the feelings right now are correct that the pitching is the best part of this team, then, I mean, I don't think I have to tell you that they're a national championship contender, but they're a national championship contender as the hitting continues to come around, and you see the hitting continue to come around. It's a fun team, man. It's fun to watch right now, and they just got so many contributors at this point. Just a few other notes here. Again, I really like the fast start. Got down 2-0 in that Hofstra game, but came back with 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning to, kind of get things going. And I like on a cold day that they really got things going. Moved start time back an hour, of course, but What else can you ask for? That's a solid Baylor team. They dominated. This weekend was a flex. 4 wins in the Getterman Classic is a great showing, but all of them were over in 5 innings. That is what a dominant softball team does. That's what the great teams of the past would do, is they would go down, they were challenged, and people are wondering, like, is this team as good? They answered the bell, and they answered the challenge, and they dominated, and they completely flexed. Like, Oklahoma looked like one of the best teams in all of college softball this weekend. Let's do it again as we return to Norman for the first time. But they responded in a way that really good softball teams responded, and I think that is it's very promising. Didn't leave a lot of runners on base this weekend. Pitched excellent. I thought hit well. Hit a lot of home runs as well. Good weekend. Good weekend. And as excited as I am right now in this moment, I'm like, dang it. I got to wait a few more days for OU softball. And I hope that snow and ice holds off so I don't have to wait even longer. But softball season is here. And boy, it's fun in Norman, Oklahoma once again. Appreciate you guys, as always. Keep dropping those thoughts, those comments, and I'll respond to those. You guys are awesome. This team is awesome. 10-0. Let's move on to week 3. We'll talk soon.